Real estate is the greatest industry in the world, and not just for the investors, for people that are buying and selling their own house. You don't have to be a big real estate investor and own multiple properties. Real estate is the greatest industry in the world because everybody touches real estate. Whether you're standing on the ground right now, that's real estate. Whether you're in a building watching this at your house, your office, wherever you may be, you are in some shape, fashion, or form touching real estate. Hey guys, my name is Rowland. I'm with the home sales team of Keller Williams Realty here in New Bern. So I had a client that probably about 5 or 6 years ago invested $80,000 into a building for his business. For that business, he then turned around and rented that building both to his business and to another business that more than paid the mortgage. So with that $80,000 investment, for a couple years he was in this building. He was then able to sell that building, and with the profit that he made from the approximately $80,000 in rent he had collected from himself and his tenant, he was able to take the profit from the sale of that building and pay cash for the next building. With that building, he paid $154,000, put maybe $20,000 in updates, and then he was able to pay himself rent again in the tune of about $72,000 back of the $170,000 he had invested in it. When he sold that building, he was able to profit $120,000 off of that building. But instead of taking that profit, this client was able to do a 1031 exchange. Happy to answer more questions about what that looks like to you in your investment properties, but took that money, did a 1031 exchange so he didn't pay taxes on the gain, and is now turning that $80,000 investment that went from one building to another building into 2 paid off rentals that will be paid off that are worth probably about $400,000. So an $80,000 investment has collected $150,000 in rent and gave him 2 paid off properties that he can now turn into rentals as well. Real estate's a great way to build wealth if you play the game. With real estate, if you buy it and wait, real estate historically has always gone up. Yes, you can look back at the Great Recession and you can see where real estate prices went down 20 to 25%. You can look at the past 2 years and see where real estate prices have been flat and in some areas have gone down. Real estate was never meant to be a short-term investment. However, it is one of the greatest long-term investments and wealth builders ever known in the United States. Whether you're an investor looking at real estate to invest in, or whether you're an actual buyer or seller just looking for your personal property, because real estate is always an investment, even if it's for your personal property, give us a call at the home sales team. Because as we like to say, if buying or selling a home is your dream, give us a call at the home sales team.
What's happening in the Eastern North Carolina real estate market right now?
Guys, there's a lot of information that we hear all the time about the real estate market, and half the information you read on the internet may be true and it may not. I always like bringing facts directly from our local MLS. And as we all know, Economics 101, supply and demand. Right now, if you look across our area, especially here in Craven County, the number of homes for sale is actually down 12% compared to last year. We were close to 600 homes last year. We're in the low 500s now this year for the number of homes for sale. People are saying that the market's not good right now, and I would argue that it's a great time to be buying and selling. We're seeing homes that are priced properly sell within 30 days still. The people that are selling within 30 days are negotiating less than 1% off of their asking price. On the other side of that though, people that's homes require price reductions are sitting on the market for over 150 days in cases, and they're selling for 10% less than what they are asking for their house. The market's great to be buying or selling right now, as long as you price your home right, as long as your house is ready for the market. And buyers are picky, so the house has to also be in good condition. In the last month, it's been the dog days of summer around here, and typically, if you follow our market closely, there is a lull around the 4th of July. We've kind of seen that lull, and we've also seen that lull starting to break free and people are starting to come back into the market. Some of the markets that were dead earlier this year, some of our higher price points at $500,000 to $800,000 range, they were very slow at the beginning of the year. Over the past 6 weeks, they've been busier in the past 6 weeks than they were the first half of the year. All real estate markets are connected on a global aspect. We need people that are moving from other areas to be able to sell their houses where they're coming from to move to our area. So that makes our market connected. However, what may be happening in the markets in Florida, New Jersey, California, Ohio, wherever people are moving here from, those markets aren't necessarily our market either. They have different standards of practices. Laws within real estate are usually handled state by state, though there are federal overall arching laws as well. But markets are hyper-local. What's happening on one side of Craven County may not be happening on the other side of Craven County. What's happening in one neighborhood here in New Bern might not be happening in another neighborhood in New Bern. So markets are hyper-local in the fact that what happens in a certain area doesn't affect the whole real estate market. However, the whole real estate market is connected globally. Don't let the market scare you from making a decision, whether that decision be buying or selling. It's always a good time to buy. It's always opportunities to sell. Just know that real estate is a long-term investment, and it is something that if you're planning on buying, you should plan to be there for at least a few years. With the way our area is growing, you'll be very excited that you bought the house today instead of waiting 2 or 3 years to buy it.